What's going on, guys? Do you know how frustrating it is to be a retro fan this generation? Do you know how irritating it is to watch studios that you grew up playing their content make decisions that you at 7 years old wouldn't make? And it's not like they don't know any better. They just make piss poor decisions for some reason. I mean, Christ, how many companies this generation have fucked themselves royally? I mean, I know three off the top of my head: Capcom, Bethesda, and Konami. Like, seriously. It's still fuck Konami for life. I'm not purchasing any Konami games because, no. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people don't let that shit go. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying their pachinko machines. I'm not buying anything from them. Second of all, Capcom. What the fuck is going on? You were the most painful developer to watch. Because I grew up in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? When you were doing everything right. You had Mega Man out the ass and could do no wrong. You had Resident Evil everywhere. You had Devil May Cry in the early 2000s, killing it. What in the fuck happened? Street Fighter 2 is the best you could do? Really? You re-released a Street Fighter 2. You released a Street Fighter 5 exclusive to PlayStation and PC, which turned into a trend with other companies releasing games that had the same reception as a Street Fighter 5 when it first came out. It was laughed at how bad it was. Capcom, you set that trend of poor execution, and we have just seen it become the normal. Not to mention, Capcom, everybody praised you. I praised you in 2013 for understanding and knowing your place in the pricing of your content. I swear to God, I gave you so much positive on Twitters and Facebooks and backs and stuff like that. I was very adamant about how good of a company you were because of understanding you should not charge more than $20 for Resident Evil 5, 6, for Resident Evil 1, whatever Resident Evil you were releasing again on the PS4, Xbox One. When they first came out, you were not charging more than $20. I applauded you for understanding and for making a very good decision as a business to not charge an arm and a leg for content that we had already bought. How quickly time changes, because it's like when 2017 hit, you became the world's worst fucking company, even though we already knew with Street Fighter 5 we just kind of were giving you a pass. And then we have Bethesda, who, I mean, aside from Skyrim, Fallout 4 was well received. People were praising Fallout 4, and then 76 happened. And it should have been 86. Like, not even a week later. It should have been 86 because my door's open. Because the news about that game, just, it's continually gotten worse, and nothing has really gotten better since it came out. And these are all well-known developers that this is happening to. No excuse. There's no rhyme or reason for these decisions. They're just happening. I mean, I'm not even that big of a Bethesda fan, and I felt the impact of 76 being a horrible fucking game. I have yet to purchase a Resident Evil on Nintendo Switch due to the pricing. I haven't bought Devil May Cry on there because of the pricing. It's a dramatic difference between the Nintendo Switch versions and the PS4s and the Xbox One versions of these same games. And I know what you're saying is, well, those games have been out longer, but we have to cut time for the Resident Evils and the Devil May Cries are obviously going to be inferior versions on the Switch. Meaning, we're not getting the we're not getting the PS3 and 360 versions of these games. More than likely it's the PS2 versions. If it is the PS3 versions, then still should be cut in price because it's not the PS4 versions or the Xbox One versions. In that case, I would give it a little bit of a pass, not much. I would say 25 tops. And that's just being generous. You see what I'm saying? Because these games are old, and when they came out on older consoles now, they were priced as such. Then they come out on Switch, and they're priced higher for some fucking reason. So that creates a problem with not only your fan base and the people who want to give you money like me, it creates a problem for the content you could possibly be creating. I don't know how to save Capcom because it's like they're a ship that's just, they're sinking slowly and painfully. The Village could very well be the last Resident Evil we get because of how poorly Capcom is doing. How much money do you honestly think they're making if they're not hitting their sales goals with any game? When their highest profit comes from re-releasing games and remaking one game. Think about, they were the remake kings with Resident Evil 2, and then Resident Evil 3 came out and it's like they forgot they had the ball. So, and that statement there is coming from a guy who loves Resident Evil 3 more than any Resident Evil. I have the Nemesis Funko Pop over there. I have the Nemesis game on the PlayStation 1. The original, I have that. I have the Black Label, the one with the Dino Crisis demo in it. Yes, I had that Black Label. I have Resident Evil 3 Remake on my Xbox. So I am a Nemesis fan. I love Resident Evil 3. And for it to be a poor remake in comparison, a very poor remake in comparison to 2, you know that I'm not sitting here just saying that. It really shows when you listen to me saying that Resident Evil 2 Remake is better than 3. If you go back and you look at my past videos, you see I really want a Resident Evil 3 Remake. I'm pushing, and I was pushing, for a Resident Evil 3 Remake even before Resident Evil 2 Remake. So this is something I really wanted. You see what I'm saying? And for it to be as piss poor as it is, really pisses me off. So again, this generation, I don't know what's been going on. I just know that it's been really, really bad to be a fan of certain fucking companies, because I've been a fan of 2 companies, and one of them I gotta say fuck you for life to, and the other one is watching a ship fucking sink. And nobody but me seems to fucking care.